January 28th, 2016 is a date I will never forget in my high school sports career. We were playing the Ipswich Tigers in Ipswich for basketball when the unimaginable happened. I was down on defense when the opposing team was driving down for a layup, and I stood up trying to draw an offensive foul when suddenly I'm on the ground in excruciating pain. People never think that they would become a candidate for surgery because injuries do not discriminate. I would have never thought that I would tear my ACL. It is a pain I will never want to experience again. Later, I got carried off into the athletic trainer's room. At that point, I was still crying like a baby. As the athletic trainer was doing different manipulations to my knee to see what was wrong, I just told myself my injury won't be serious. When the trainer was finished, she told us that it could be just a bruised bone. That was relieving to hear, although I was still in agonizing pain. I tried to walk on it because I wanted to watch the rest of our game, but it was too much to handle. They eventually got me into our vehicle and we were off to the emergency room in Aberdeen. We got the results back and found out that my ACL was torn. That is when the grueling process to recovery started to happen. I talked to our local physical therapist about where the healing process should start. She was about to go on maternity leave, but she left and then started to do preoperative therapy. She stressed me for how important it was to do it before surgery because of all the benefits. I did. We worked on getting my knee to straighten as close to 180 degrees. It was also crucial to be able to get as much motion as possible in my knee. I later had surgery in Bemidji, Minnesota. After surgery, I was in the therapy from April to September, and it took a lot of commitment and hard work for me to get where I wanted to be before volleyball season. I feel preoperative therapy helped me tremendously, and I would not have changed anything about my healing process. Preoperative therapy brought a lot of interest to me with my experience. Therefore, I wanted to research some pros and cons of all types of therapy. Preoperative physical therapy is when a patient undergoes therapy before they go into surgery. Outpatient therapy is a form of therapeutic treatment that is offered to people who do not need to be hospitalized. These are all different types of therapy, but they serve the same purpose and have the same goal to quickly heal the patient. One of the most stressful things in life is getting an injury. Injuries hurt and they slow down the patient's day-to-day routines. When going to physical therapy and receiving treatment, it can also be very difficult both physically and mentally. When a patient is going to therapy, they need to take it seriously and push themselves. Otherwise, they won't see any progress in their injury. Therapy can be mentally difficult, especially for student athletes. Students can undergo depression, which makes it difficult for a physical therapist to reach the patient on a personal level. Even when the patient is completely healed, they can't mentally overcome the fact that they are healed and able to play. The patient can't give their greatest effort because they are scared of re-injuring themselves. It is difficult to overcome these fears, but there are people for the patient for them to overcome it. A question that people ponders with preoperative therapy is for them. For a person who plans to go through the process has some benefits rather than people who decide against it. Preoperative physical therapy is a rising popularity as more doctors are realizing that it can eliminate and shorten the patient's healing process. Preoperative therapy was developed so athletes could avoid injuries. It soon became popular before surgeries as they saw tremendous results from the patients. It was also designed to prepare patients for post-therapy because an activity that comes along with surgery can cause stress and decrease their physical function. There are many benefits that come along with preoperative therapy. It is good for someone to have extra physical activity in their everyday lives. The patient could potentially lose weight and improve strength. It can there the patient would be able to get more out of their workout because there are more one-on-one time with their therapist. Preoperative therapy can end up saving people money in the end of a patient's rehab experience. Only 1 to 2 sessions of preoperative therapy can end up saving someone over $1,000. Hospitals found that 79.7% of patients who didn't receive preoperative therapy required postoperative therapy, which ended up costing them less money in the end. Therapy can help reduce or eliminate pain during someone's everyday activities. Therapists can use electrical stimulation to restore muscle and joint function and reduce low back pain. Therapists can improve people's mobility no matter how old the patient is. If someone has suffered from a stroke, therapists can help strengthen weakened parts of the body and improve balance. Elderly can go to physical therapy to prevent falls from doing everyday activities. Therapists will give the patient exercises that are close to real life situations that can help them with their coordination. Physical therapy has not only affected my life tremendously, but people around the world. I highly suggest preoperative therapy with all the benefits it has to offer. It helped me get back on the court on a month and a half earlier than what was expected. Without therapy, I wouldn't have not gotten to fulfill my senior year of high school volleyball.